Coming up tonight on YCN News, the northward creep of addictive drugs continues to show itself in the rise of drug-related arrests. A majority of New Hampshire state senators approve a 4.2-cent hike in the state's gas tax. And repairs to the Newport Health Center may take longer than expected. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening, and welcome to this Friday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. The northward creep of addictive drugs continues to show itself in the rise of area drug-related arrests. Hartford, Vermont police report a Boston man is charged with possession of crack cocaine and giving false information to police. Thursday, police went to the Fairfield Inn to investigate a previous incident that had occurred at the Holiday Inn Express on Ballard Vale Drive in White River Junction. Information obtained during that investigation led to the arrest of 27-year-old Deshaun Miles of Dorchester, Massachusetts. Miles is scheduled to be arraigned today in Windsor County District Court. He was held Thursday night on a $5,000 bond at the Southern Correctional Facility in Springfield, Vermont. Meanwhile, in the Windham community of Brattleboro, it's a brand new day for its downtown. Just shy of the 3 years to the day that a 5-alarm fire ripped through the landmark Brooks House, a new retail and academic center has emerged. Architect Bob Stevens, founder of Stevens & Associates, worked with 4 other local businessmen to bring the Brooks House back to life. A ceremony held Thursday afternoon speaks about this project, truly a phoenix rising from the ashes.
We had a fire here 3 years ago, small fire, just burned the roof off. Fire department put that out pretty quick. So then we spent 3 years in design and trying to find funding and getting a great deal of support, community, state, town, in order to figure out how to pay to put a building like this back online. And we started construction last August. This is really, we hope, the beginning of several tours to kind of celebrate the progress and give people a little insight as to where we're going. You'd think that was the hard, actually I think that was the hard part, but in August, like any construction project, we then uncovered our series of mold issues and structural problems that have chased us right through till the end of December, and I think we're finally getting ahead of that. So at this point, we've got most of that under control, and we're going to give you a sneak peek of how the building's coming. You'll see we have sections of this building that they're putting paint on, that they're that far along, and other parts where we're still jacking floors up and putting structure in. So it's 4 building projects in one around here. You're standing in the atrium space. This is going to be the sort of primary inside public space of this building when you're done. It's a new 2-story space. It's going to have skylights in the ceiling, these windows up above you to bring a lot of natural light in, and it connects. Behind me is the front lobby, so new storefront doors. This is a public entrance with an open stair to the second floor. They haven't cut the stairs out yet, although that's coming within a week. This atrium and these hallways connect all the retail stores. So you can come in the front door on Main Street, or you can come into this lobby, you can get to the college, you can get to the back doors of all of the retail and the restaurants through this public space. We're very optimistic that the rest of the housing is going to go before we open, and then we have a couple of years to rent the rest of the retail. So things are going okay. The tenants are a Duo restaurant for retail. We've got Wow Yogurt coming into one of the retail spaces. That's a frozen yogurt place. Brilliance is moving back here from Flat Street. They were here at Mercantile Store from before. Well, Oak Meadow is the office tenant, 2 colleges, Vermont Technical and CCV College. But we're excited about the tenants. We have some great tenants coming in, and I think it's going to be, an exciting space down there with the new public spaces, the lobby, the atrium, Duo with a food space. So it's going to be a great community here. And our residences, it's a great group of people, just getting to know them who are coming in. A lot of local people who want to live in an urban setting are kind of moving into town. So we're excited for both groups, actually. And on top of that, take 400 to 600 students through the lobby every day and try to, that'll do a good job for your coffee houses and your retail downstairs. So we think that's a pretty good selling point.
With a nod to both New Hampshire and Vermont, They don't call New Hampshire and Vermont the Twin States for nothing. Yesterday, I took a trip up to Norwich University in Northfield, Vermont, to speak with the director of bands about an upcoming concert celebrating Claremont, New Hampshire's 250th anniversary. Let's take a look at the interview to learn more.
I've been the director of bands for 4 years right now, and I also oversee the university drill team and also the university cavalry troop. We'll be performing this weekend at the Claremont Opera House on Saturday night, the 29th. The groups performing will be the University Concert Band and also the University Drill Team Shock Platoon. We were asked to perform by members of the Fisk Free Library in commemoration of the 250th development of Claremont, New Hampshire. And they were asking, since Claremont has a close history with Norwich University, if we would enjoy performing for them. So we decided to make sort of a special concert this year. We'll be performing a lot of variety music. We'll be performing some light classic music. Of course, us being the oldest collegiate marching band in the country, we'll be performing traditional John Philip Sousa marches. We'll be performing Broadway tunes. In addition, we always end our shows with a patriotic medley and also finishing with the Stars and Stripes Forever. Norwich University is the nation's oldest private military university, begun in 1819. So we're celebrating our bicentennial in 1819. And the regimental band is also the oldest collegiate band in the country, celebrating its bicentennial a year later in 1820. The university it has both military and civilian lifestyles in it. We have about 2,500 undergraduates currently that are attending school here. In the University Concert Band, we have both military cadets and also civilian students. Something that's very interesting about the band itself is there are no music majors here at Norwich University. So the musicians that are part of the concert band that perform throughout New England are lovers of music, enjoyers of music, but they're all studying other fields of study such as engineering, architecture, history, English, criminal justice. So they're performing this music because they love performing it.
The performance will be held from 7 to 9 p.m. Saturday night in the Claremont Opera House. The concert is free, but donations will be accepted. Turning to Concord, New Hampshire, a majority of its state senators have approved a 4.2-cent hike in the state's gas tax. Senate Bill 267 aims to raise about $32 million for road and bridge projects throughout New Hampshire. Per the bill's text on the legislature's website, tolls in the southern New Hampshire town of Merrimack will be eliminated. This toll-free section is part of a compromise hammered out this week among senators. As Republican Senator Bob Odell told YCN News, new revenue from the tax will help local roads and major state roads such as I-93.
They would do a couple of things. One, 2 cents of the 4.2 cents would be used to pay for a bond over 20 years to put $200 million into Route 93. That would complete that route from Salem to Manchester with all the new interchanges and all the resurfacing and all the rebuilding and the new lanes that are going to be added to it. Secondly, the remaining money, the 2 cents per gallon, would go to immediately, beginning July 1 of this year, to road surfacing projects across the state of New Hampshire. And it would also go to state-owned bridge support, and it would also go to distribution to local communities.
Senator Jim Roush of Derry removed from the bill's text a plan that would have kept the gas tax rising every 4 years to keep pace with inflation. Now it will be up to the Senate's counterparts in the House to debate the SB 267, says Odell. The state's gas tax has not been raised since 1991. When YCN News returns, we'll continue with more news.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
If you have an orthopedic issue, turn to Dr. James M. Murphy, a board-certified orthopedic surgeon at New London Hospital. Working in collaboration with Concord Orthopedics, Dr. Murphy evaluates and treats hand, elbow, shoulder, knee, hip, and ankle fractures and pediatric injuries. New London Hospital is in your neighborhood, providing primary and specialized services in its state-of-the-art facility. To learn about our services and our compassionate doctors, visit newlondonhospital.org. New London Hospital, your prescription for living well.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Repairs to the Newport Health Center will take longer than first thought. Leaders of the New London Hospital, who oversee the Newport affiliate, say it may take until early April to complete building work. Repairs to the Newport site include clearing blocked drains. This year's winter weather has taken its toll on the structure. Newport patients who normally see their doctors and nurses at the Newport site will continue to do so in New London. Transportation can be arranged to and from New London. Newport patients with any questions may call 603-863-4100. YCN News will keep you updated. In other local news, YCN News would like to correct an item reported yesterday. While Unity residents voted by voice to increase the membership of its school board from 3 to 5, the voice vote from Saturday's audience was so close that a handheld ballot count was taken. The petitioned article, number 6 on the warrant, passed with 64 yes votes compared to 40 no votes. On Monday, we'll learn more about the New Hampshire State Senate's bill involving casino gambling. And we'll follow up to learn more about today's 3 Mile Island 35th Anniversary Symposium held at Dartmouth College in Hanover.
The YCN News continues in a moment.
The good folks at H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating Oils want you to know that their philosophy is simple. Wow 'em with our service. Their EPA-certified technicians are ready to tackle your heating, cooling, or water conditioning system problem 24 hours a day. They take pride in having provided local customers with peace of mind for over 2/3 of a century.
Wow 'em with service. It's the H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating Oils way of doing business.
Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next 5 days, and he'll take a look at some local college sports.
Thanks, Rose. We have a rainy weekend ahead, beginning tomorrow with highs in the upper 40s and a low of 33 degrees. Sunday we'll have a high of 40 degrees with lows in the 30s. Monday the rain will continue with a high of 44 and lows around 30 degrees. Tuesday and Wednesday we'll have highs in the upper 40s with lows in the 30s. And now let's look at the northeastern and national radar maps. Now let's look at our community calendar. Tomorrow morning, Walpole, New Hampshire will be holding its Winter Farmers Market at 11 a.m. in the Town Hall. On Sunday in Hanover, New Hampshire, head over to the Hop for a fun musical, The Teachers from the Black Lagoon, celebrating 7 contemporary children's stories at 3 p.m. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. Now let's take a look at college sports in New Hampshire and Vermont. The University of New Hampshire women's lacrosse team is preparing for a game this Saturday against the University of Vermont at the UVM campus. The game will take place in Cowell Stadium at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. This game is part of the American East Conference. An Ivy League matchup is taking place as well in women's lacrosse. Dartmouth College is taking on Brown University at Providence, Rhode Island on Saturday at noon. Now let's take a look at yesterday's Colby Sawyer College versus Keene State College women's lacrosse game. The game took place at the Sally Shaw Vitek Field at Colby Sawyer's campus. This is where the CSC Chargers fell to Keene 16-6. This crushing blow brought them down to a 2-3 overall record. Strong team players Katie Colley and Caitlin Rardy scored 2 goals each for the Chargers. From here, the Chargers are headed to the North Atlantic Conference. Now let's take a quick look at yesterday's New England College men's lacrosse game against Norwich University. The final score was 8-5, with the NEC Pilgrims dominating the Norwich Cadets. This increases the Pilgrims' record to 7 wins and 1 loss.